Welcome on back. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Less collateral damage. So this video I'm going to be fighting several of the different boss types to get their drops. First off, we're going to go with the Wilden here. I got 2 of these tablets because I haven't had any luck finding any Wilden out in the wild that aren't the Stalker. Also, we got a souped up creeper that just showed up running quick. That would be very bad if I didn't have a whole bunch of movement enchantments on my gear. But yeah, luckily some Wilden drops show up in chests, so that's how I've been getting my spikes and horns. But if you use the tablet on a ritual brazier without enhancing it, you get a few of each different types. Well, actually, I'm not seeing the Stalker in this group. But that's why I brought some swabs, so I can start intentionally spawning, to set up a spawner for the different types. That way I can passively farm up their, mainly the horns, so I can get more Trigomies. Unfortunately, I got 2 of the same one. At least it's the one that gives the Wilden horn, so I'll worry about getting that 3rd one a little bit later. This is me kind of seeing if I had a swab on me, but nah. So we'll worry about that later. Now doing this again, but if you throw 1 of each of the Wilden drops into the brazier. You get to fight the Chimaera. And it comes with its own pretty good music, I think. Yeah, this guy, 500 health I believe it starts with. Well, that's 500 hearts. I believe each heart is worth 2 points, so technically it's 1,000 health. So at the start, not too bad. Just runs up and attacks you and occasionally summons up some wolves, which thankfully the whole discharge ability can very easily make them a non-factor. And in hindsight, probably not the best to fight in such a grassy area as I keep swinging at the grass. But yeah, get to about half health and it can start doing this. And funnily enough, it actually got stuck underneath the blocks, so it was just constantly taking, I believe they call it suffocating damage when a mob gets stuck in a block. And yeah, this is why I went off in the middle of nowhere. For some reason, I'm particularly OCD about... Oh hey, look, it can also cast spells on you, like lifting you up and then tossing you to the side. But yeah, I'm OCD about keeping natural landscaping, so doing this in some faraway area so I don't wander around here and go, oh my god, it doesn't look right. Not that Minecraft land generation has always been, perfect. Yeah, all in all, just not too bad. Just had to whittle down nearly 1,000 hit points worth. And there we go. Gotta empty my inventory out from all the dang seeds that have been dropping from all the terrain damage. So your reward is the Wilden tribute. There are actually 2 uses for this. Maybe more, but 2 primary uses. One of those is for enhancing our spell book. And then the other one is for making Marks of Mastery, which requires a tribute as well as one of each of the different essence types. And those are used for even more equipment. Next up, let's take on the Wither. I think the grass blocks might be interfering with this. But yeah, off screen, I went on ahead and made, swabbed some withers skeletons in the nether and set up a farm to get their skulls. In this pack, they've changed them to where even if the skeleton doesn't drop a skull, it can drop a fragment, and then 9 fragments makes a skull. Now for this guy, I got these here data models, and you'll need to right click on an enemy to be able to put that enemy in the data model. And this is part of the hostile neural networks. Now, give me some slack. It has been a very long time since I've actually fought a Wither. And I kind of forgot that it basically tries to stay at a fixed distance from you, and more to the point, stays above you. So I finally realized, okay, I can't slap him with the data model yet, so let's just shoot him. Also, I don't think magic works on him. I know I missed a few shots, but right there, I hit him, but like nothing happens. And then I tried slapping him with the data model again. And yes, I am aware summoning him out with, an open field, more to the point, not underneath anything, was kind of a bad move on my part. It also doesn't help that me screwing around also gives him a chance to kill himself, but then I go full on, okay, let's just keep this guy down. Pretty quickly get him down to half health. And I did have him at half health for a second, so he'd actually go into melee, but then he healed right back up past it, so into the sky he goes again. It is kind of a pain. Oh, hello there. Because once he hits half health, he becomes immune to range damage. Then you can't like do a few extra hits on him and make sure he stays below half health. But now that he's actually down here, I can start slapping him with some data modules. Real fun to try and do this mid-combat. Thank God for the auto-run button. There we go. Now that I've got all 8 of my models set up, kind of put them into this here hub, or the deep learner, because then you need to start killing the model a bunch of times, and thankfully you can have multiple learners on you, and they'll all contribute equally to the data models. I'm not saying I get 8 kills worth for each kill, but each one gets their 1 kill for each kill. There we go. And we get the ever important Nether Star. And God, This is so annoying with all the damn blocks and seeds and stuff dropping all over the place. Again, knowledge of death I don't really bother with, but there is like a bonus where you get like better keys if you die. Thing is, I haven't died thus far, so you know. And then retaining experience on death, I guess that would also be useful. But yeah, I don't really engage with a lot of that stuff, so let's just continue on our way. Now, as we can see here in the learner module, currently at faulty tier, and we get basic tier after 6 kills total. And then you have to go to like advance, another tier after that, and then you get self-learning, and each tier gives you better chances to get gear. Anyways, now that we got the Nether Star, we can make the next tier of the book, but we need one of those resurrection totems, which I've managed to have not found any of. Luckily, I've found a mansion while exploring and set up a warpstone nearby just so I can come on back. God, so many seeds. The death mod has these little poppets, like voodoo doll things that supposedly prevent certain types of death. Thing is, it has a chance to prevent certain kind of death, and I don't want to leave it to chance if I die or not, so I don't really use them. Now let's head right on in. I'll just make myself a little entryway here. Hey guys, where's the evoker at? The first time I've played in all the mods pack with my little brother, it was 7, I believe. Oh, hello there. And we ended up finding a mansion and then taking it over and moving in. And then we like set it up to where each room was like dedicated for something. Like one room, okay, here's all the enchanting stuff. Another room, okay, here's the ore setup stuff. Another room, oh hey, we're gonna put villagers in here so we can do villager trades and so on. It was pretty fun. It's actually something I was thinking of doing for this playthrough, but I like the start that I ended up with. Anyways, where are those evokers at? There we go. Found 2 of them. Let's swab one and then take them out. And honestly, evokers are kind of better for emerald farming. Well, no, actually I have to... Because besides dropping emeralds, they also drop totems. But then, I don't know how drops work in this game if, whoop. If having a chance to drop a totem, like, means that they won't drop emeralds as often. I don't know. But hey, we got that. Let's go ahead and make our tier 3 spellbook. And this rules because you get some obviously very good spells. For example, we can actually get the proper thunder spell, which is a tier 3 glyph. It needs a Heart of the Sea though, and I don't have one of those, so I'll need to start hunting down some treasures to see if I can find it. But then you can also get spells that let you blink to whatever you target. But if you have a warp scroll in your offhand, it'll teleport whatever you hit, well, whatever mob you hit, to the scroll's location. So that's pretty useful. And it's trivially easy to make its glyph. Now, of course, I don't need to tell you where I'm going to set up my... Oh, by the way, the villagers keep trying to get into my house. That's why I've traded out my doors for those sliding doors, because they can't open them. But yeah, I'm sure you can imagine where I'll be wanting to send my targets to. Oh, hey, that's where that armor stand went. Sometimes I accidentally push the armor stand into the portal. I forget to remove it when I want to set it to push mode. So now we're going to set up a spell that'll let me teleport whoever I target. Well, I seem to have some rather invasive villagers. Oh, right. Right-clicking on them makes the game think I'm trying to interact with them. What the hell? What just happened? Why is there an iron golem in my house? Where did it come from? But yeah, needless to say, that zombie, I sent it right on up here and it fell to its death. I'll later add on a damage spell to the spell, so that way whoever I teleport will also be considered as damaged by a player before plummeting to its death. And yeah, very useful. So now, instead of having to fight whatever, I can just send them off into the to the death tower, and not only does it get rid of them, but then the hopper and whatnot will collect all of its loot, so I don't have to worry about filling up my inventory while I'm out exploring. Beautiful. I love it. And it is somewhat expensive on the mana side, but on the other hand, if you're doing onesie-twosies, your mana should be back. Now, I'm in the cave underneath the island, and there is a block from mob grinders called tinted glass that is trivially easy to make. It's just coal, charcoal, and glass. And as the description states, it is resistant to withers. So we'll just go ahead and build one up in here. And we'll block off all but one. We'll just leave one opening. Just start stabbing through the hole. Usually I don't get hit, so of course the one time I do record, I did get hit. But this is how I was farming up my kills for the hostile mob network. Now we've got the superior model, and to get to self-learning, we're going to need another 39 kills. This is after I think like another 11. So in total, you kill something close to 100 withers to be able to get to self-awareness on the model. But now that I can easily kill a whole bunch of withers, I now get their stars, so I have a whole bunch of those on hand. And just to show here, you get the ignore players upgrade on any spawner that you throw the wither star on, or the nether star on. This makes it so you don't have to be nearby for them to spawn, so I can just turn on my spawners and leave, and they'll just continuously spawn, and then have the pusher on to actively farm them. That's very nice. Next up, before going on to my next target, I'm going to want to get some netherite. Now, I did find some ancient debris, and I'll show off how I find that later. But first, I want to make a thing called a calcinated netherite from the few scraps I did find. You just gotta grind those down with a mortar and pestle. You go ahead and bake it. Just need to wait for that to come on through. And then you brew it with mundane potions. Now, I do have a kitchen properly built. I'm throwing that into its own like bonus video because this video is already 45 minutes. But I don't know why I decided to go to my aquarium to get water instead of going to the sink. It's the microbiology in the water from all the fish. It adds to the taste, I guess. So yeah, this is a very useful item that you can get if you're ever trying to find certain things. If you can find at least one of it, you can make a calcinated powder of it, combine it with a mundane potion to get 3 sites of that potion. And while using the potions themselves would be useful, there's another use for the potions without drinking them. But hey, since I now have the blink spell, let's look at these stabilized warp scrolls, where they work between dimensions. Very useful. But hey, now that I got those, you can make charms. And these are useful because you can turn them on and off. So instead of consuming a potion and then having pretty much a use it or lose it thing, you can just, okay, I found whatever, I can just turn this off and save the rest of the charge for later. And yeah, now that I got access to blazes, being able to make these scrolls isn't all that taxing on my resources. So likewise, I set this up. Well, thankfully, the scroll keeps its location even through enchanting. So now if I'm in the Nether, for example, I can teleport mobs from there to my tower here. And speaking of the Nether, we'll just turn this on and take a look around. Sadly, nothing is close by the portal. That'd be too easy. Oh, there we go. Finding quite a few, which is nice. Now, sadly, you can squeeze the ancient debris, but you'll get one, and it's something like a 50% chance to get a second one, so no getting massive amounts of netherite. At least for now. Now, as to how I've been finding it before, if you use a prospecting hammer from Silent Gear, you can right-click on a wall, and it'll say if there's... It'll show what kind of ore is nearby. So what I did was I basically dug a hole into the nether, and then just started doing tunnels and smacking the walls with a hammer every now and then before finding the ancient debris. Now, as to why we need netherite, if you make an ingot with a bottle and a coating blueprint, you can get netherite coating. And besides giving a whole bunch of stat upgrades, it also increases the harvest level. So now I can... Now it's basically netherite harvest level on this, on the fortune pick that I got going on. Now the reason why I need to do that is the next boss I want to go off and fight is the Warden, who is in the Deep Dark, and the Deep Dark is also where all the modium spawns, and you can't squeeze it, so I brought a fortune pick. So meet the first Deep Dark area I've ran into. Oh boy, doesn't it look amazing? It's a whole, I don't know, 10 by 20. And I just, in frustration, go and start blowing it up. So now, going all the way out here, I found a slightly larger area. Now, all the modium is supposed to show up on walls and ceilings. That's what the description says. But with how small this area is as well, probably not the best place to look. However, unlike the last Deep Dark, there's an actual Shrieker here, so... By the way, I hope you like darkness. I don't want to activate it quite yet. I still want to see if I can find some Aldemodium first. And there just so happens to be an Amethyst Geode nearby. When the darkness effect was happening, it was shining purple, and for a second, my hopes got up, and I thought maybe that was the direction of an ancient city. But no. And the reason why I haven't like cut yet is look at these little dudes. Tortoises. And they have different types of ores on their back. And yeah, you can mine them and you'll get like the full ore block of whatever ore's on their back. And rip the foliate crushers back at base. Man, I wonder if I could have like taken those turtles home. I'll need to come back later and see if I can take them home and then see if they regenerate. Not that I'm exactly hurting for ore anymore. But yeah, still trying to find some Aldemodium. And hey, that's neat. There's a like abandoned mine shaft in this area as well. And there goes the other crusher. Now I got my hopes up. I saw that glowing because Aldemodium glows, but no, it's magma blocks that are wrapped around vines, and somehow the vines aren't combusting. But hey, a little place I can explore a little bit later. But alright, enough screwing around. Come on, buddy. Come on, bring him over. There we go. Right, bud, you can't hit me while I'm up here. But now I can't hit you either. So all of my speed and, you know, my range attacks don't really work out too well when you have a monster that has bullshit hit scan weapons that can hit you through any block. Just remember, I've got like 3 layers of health and I'm almost dead. And again, he can fire through walls, so trying to run doesn't really work out. I'm trying to sneak, but it's not working. Oh my god. And here I am trying to use the warp scroll to leave, and it doesn't work out because you need a pretty sizably clear area. That's okay, he seems to have lost track of me. Is your anxiety rising too? Alright, Round 2. Let's do this. As soon as I figure out how the hell I even get back up there. Because, yeah, this is the series of tunnels I was carving out, trying to find my way to the deep dark in the first place. God. Oh, come on, dude. I was sneaking. Stuck in the tunnel with him. That's my best move. Alright, so my next plan is, now that I've lost him, is to try and get him to, like, burrow and come back out this way. So I'll fire a few arrows around, because usually that distracts them. But nope, doesn't really seem to be working that well. Come on, the shot came from over there. He clearly has to be in that tunnel. No, now he's over there. Like, I get that they don't want players to just box in the Warden and then easily kill him. But God, hit scan 100% accurate attacks that can go through blocks is bullshit. Especially when he also darkens the screen so I can't even see. I'll need to come back with some, like, night vision goggles or a charm that lets me see in the dark. Alright, bud, you don't want to come on out, so I guess I gotta go to you. Almost got him, though. There we go. Jeez. Yeah. Hardest boss fight thus far. And you do get a nice little reward for killing him if you go into the quest log. You are given a single ingot of all the modium. So that's nice. It's kind of like a consolation prize if you can't find all the modium veins, because you can do something with it to help you find more later. But now we're on to the last boss. I've cut out me throwing ender eyes for an hour trying to find this place. I'll just go ahead and bust down a wall again to make my entrance. Good old ender fortresses. The ever so confusing labyrinths where I run around not knowing where I need to go. Thankfully, on the mini-map, we can see a very interesting looking structure to the west. So, just need to find doors that lead that way, right? Should be real easy. Maybe I need to go onto the second floor. So yeah, not really having good luck, so let's just start tunneling through. Like I said, usually I like to keep things as is, but nah, at this point I'm fine with just going nuclear. Also, I've made a homing glyph, so I can set up homing on my spells. That's what was going on with the spell just now. Usually it's pretty nice. You know, you can just fire in the general direction and the attack will home in on them, but sometimes it'll just kind of hover around the enemy, which is kind of annoying. But hey, found the room. Just get rid of all this crap. And wow, the generation didn't really like me this go around. Not a single ender eye in any of these. Glad I brought extra pearls and a blaze powder. God damn it. Alright, here we go. Well, first, as you can probably guess, more data models. So I can get more data on the dragon. Oh dear God, why? I really don't like how the game doesn't just spawn you directly on the island. It just kind of does whatever. And sure, there's the safety net of the obsidian platform, but I just don't feel comfortable with that. And this is pretty neat. I've got some azure silver ore already here on the first island. That's from the Silent Gear stuff. Now, since I've got spell books on hand, I can just use my tunneling spells to take care of these iron bars. And yeah, starting to speed up here. Just to save this video from being a full hour long. And I'm kicking myself for not bringing a bunch of bottles around to get dragon breath and whatnot. Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't do that. I now have all of my data models set up. Also, I don't think spells work on the Ender Dragon. Thank God for magic spells, so I can just slowly walk my way up. Be able to hit this one. Sure if that's bedrock or nope, that's an actual pylon. Oh geez. And I just like to note I didn't bring any extra arrows on me. I wasn't too prepared to go around. Now here I figure, okay, what if I just use my tunneling spell and just destroy the blocks from under here? That way I can shoot on up. And for a while I think my spells aren't actually like hitting up there, but they are. But alright, let's move on up. You know what's strange is that these mage blocks are supposed to be temporary, and you're supposed to enhance the spell to make them permanent, but they do just seem to be permanent, so whatever. Also, I think I just saw an Enderman get yeeted. Great, we got an Enderman with super speed. But there we go, all the pylons are now gone. Now I can actually start damaging the dragon. Before I get too crazy in killing it, let's just go ahead and make sure I slap these models into the deep learner. Because you need to have them in the deep learner. If you don't, then the kill is wasted. There we go, now we got all of my data models set up, but I kind of forget to throw it into the deep learner. Damn it. But hey, there we go. All the bosses down. I got all their drops. And I've got Wither and Dragon data models set up for future mob neural. It was late. I forgot how to do the egg. I'll pick it up later. Now I could go ahead and let myself fall into the little hole there, but there's another way we can head on home. Don't know why I'm checking this again. I think, oh, so note the simulation cost for just one of those models, 4,000 per tick. So before I even use these, I think the Wither one was like 2,000. I'm going to need to work on my power situation. But now, let's just go ahead and set a warp scroll here. So now I can warp to the end anytime I want. And let's show off actually using one of these. It builds up some temporary blocks and head right on home. Or in my case, through the death tower. But yep, now we've got all the mob drops, the boss mob drops, as well as ways to farm them in the future. Later.